Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Azure Graphics. Now in this particular tutorial I'll be giving you a complete course on Snapseed. I'll be showing you how you can use Snapseed application. I'll be introducing you into the interface, some of the functions of Snapseed design. Now if you're just joining me for the first time, please hit the subscribe button and you can watch my other videos. Let's just get right into it. So the first thing, this will be the interface. You can get Snapseed from the Play Store. So this is the interface of the Snapseed. Now this open, I want to bring in a new picture from my file manager. So these are files I have. This works when I want to just view my edit. Now this is, just get this. This is if I want to change it to dark skin, and this if you actually want to resize your image, I want to change the theme, which I don't want to. Then format, I want it to be format quality, let me put it in 100% JPEG. So you can also use PNG. Okay, so you can also use in PNG if you want to save it as PNG, but I'll use JPEG 100%. Then this is open. I want to bring in a new design. Okay, you know what, let me just bring in something from my Pixellab file. Okay, I actually haven't created any design this week. I just came to think about it. Okay, I did work on some projects, but not really creating a new design. All right, so okay, let me just pick one. Let's go with this. Now I want you to look at the production. Just look at the image of this image, the facial expression of this design. Now the first we'll be looking at, you see this looks just came up. We have tools here and we have export. Probably we are done saving. Okay, export as probably you're now choosing like a folder you want to save it to. But you know what, I'm just going to skip the export as option now. So I'll come here to looks. So these are last edit, contains probably an effect you did before, and maybe you came here and made use of these tools. So it's going to apply the same effect. Instead of you going to create those effects again, any image you put into, just put into your Snapseed, it recreates this effect for you. Okay, so I want to try something else. Let me see if I'm just going to close this app and just bring it in again. This plus icon, see, also if I click on this plus icon, it's still going to bring me back my design, the design which I recreated, which I created rather. So this particular option is, now this is the image, I brought it back. So if I click on last edit, now just we're bringing about a particular effect. You can see how the image just changed. Now the effect actually used in one of my previous designs. So if I come to portrait is also like a kind of filter, an effect that came with Snapseed. So it came with its own effect. So most times you can just come here and maybe you like this effect, you can just come to click on this check mark, okay, and voila. Now these portraits, all this, they are like arrangement, they are adjustments that was applied, filters they are applied to a particular image, an effect applied to a particular design. When I click on this OK mark, I come here, I come to view edit. No, I just click on that portrait and I clicked on the check mark. Now you can see these were the effects that were applied to it. Or if now that I came here, I clicked on this portrait, this is going to disable this effect, these two, this glamour glow and vignette. It disabled the effect. It only made this one visible. We'll still get back to that one anyway, but we'll still get back to that. So now if I'm now going to click on it again, if I'm going to click on portrait again, I'm adding another portrait effect. I know we applied portrait before. You know, we once we click this check mark, the effect has actually applied already. So when I come here now to click on this OK mark, come to here and view edit, you can see now it is now doubled, means the effect has applied twice. Okay, now so all right, so okay, let's just get over with this. Okay, this is another effect, smooth, another effect. These are presets that came with Pixellab, not Snapseed. Pop. Now you're not actually seeing this effect now because of I was not actually liking. Let me just get rid of all the effects, all the portrait effects that I can just come here, then click on delete, click on this arrow here, and just wait it, come here and click on delete, wait for it to process, load on this new filter and click. Let me just come down here and click on delete. Still going to take time to load. Come here, click on delete, then come here, click on delete. Instead of doing this one, I can just come here. Okay, now when I can just come here and just bring in the new image, again. It's still going to just like bring out, start afresh. Now you can see smooth is different. Pop, most times I use pop, but pop for my design projects, just use pop. Accentuate, it's also a good effect, a good filter. See, accentuate. Faded glow, morning. Now, so you can just come here and try any of these silhouette, any of these filter, but mostly the ones I use mostly is between pop and accentuate, but mostly I use accentuate. Now we can see the saturation of this accentuate is too much. Now I'm going to show you as when I start talking about. Now this is accentuate. I said before that this preset are just like, maybe you're using it like a 3D lot. It is saved preset on Snapseed. You can come here and view the edits. Now look at, you can view all the edits. So these are everything that made up this particular preset accentuate. So I'll be opening this image again and I will bring in this particular image. So because I will actually want to start, I don't want to use a preset now, I want to start afresh, just showing you the application. Okay, now this, come here. No, that's all for the looks. Now this, I've told you before, it's just like your view edit. You come here to VR code. Maybe I'm having a QR code, which I have never actually used this option before. Now this showing you this image details. It's telling me about this image, this particular image I'm editing. Now the date it was created. Okay, not actually the date it was created. No, the day I'm actually editing it. So April 1st 2023, and the particular time and the size, the dimension of the image. Alright, so now these tutorials just going to direct you to a YouTube channel. This is help and feedback. Then alright, so let's just come here straight to the tools. We'll click on tune image. Now this like an Instagram chart, so just click on it. So this particular one, like you will see when I now to work with Snapseed, all you just need to move your hand. You can see the way I'm tilting the button. You can see the way I'm tilting my hand. You can see as I'm tilting it, it is affecting the image. Now if you want that is just to adjust the brightness and the saturation and reduce the brightness, add brightness. So this, when I'm moving my hand here, I'm adding the brightness to it. When I take my hand to this other way, I'm removing brightness from the image. That's why it's getting dark. Now I just move it as it horizontally. I just move my hand on and swiped it horizontally on the screen. So if I now move it vertically, it's going to make me switch between this particular option. Now before it was brightness, you were seeing it here. Now it was I just moved it to contrast or saturation. Now so I can now add contrast to it, this particular image. Okay, or I can just take away the contrast. Now you can see, so now it is okay. Now saturation, one thing about saturation helps you, it gives you everything about a particular color. Everything about a particular color. If I increase the saturation, now you look at every color in this particular design is bringing out is like popping out every particular color. The green saturation, it just brings out everything. Now when I desaturate it, like I'm washing the color away, it will be fading. It will be fading. Now look at, if I see it has faded, like you're just turning it black and white. So one of the easiest way to turn something to black and white is just desaturate it. Okay, so now this is still tutorials again. Now this magic here is auto adjust. Now so like it's just going to help Snapseed to just give you an automatically adjustments. Now when I click on this, is also when I just move my hand like this, and I can just come here and just that I tap on it, or just move my hand like that and just set it. Now but when I click on this auto adjust, you can see now it has already picked for me. So at times you may just need to. So ambience is when I'm adding a bit of ambience to my highlights. You just want to brighten all those white parts. You can see those white parts are getting bright. The white parts, you just want to brighten them. And when you're doing designs and you just dark, you play with your highlight and your shadows, it's going to give you like a cool feel. Now you can see, now you don't actually want to make this, you don't want to make them like they actually should be the white. Now highlight works for the white part, the white shadows work for the black part. When I reduce the shadow, just see all the dark side got dark, and you see all those dark side were dark. You can see it. All right, so now this is the shadows. Then I'll have to just, like, if I now, when you're working on an image, when you now increase the, like, you make the shadow, you increase it, means you brighten all those dark parts, while the highlight, you also increased it, you brighten the white part. It's not going to give you a particular effect. So it's actually good for when they counter each other. The highlight counters the shadows. So it's either you just reduce the highlight and you increase the shadows a bit, so it's gonna give you a good feel. Like the combo is going to be very, very good. So this warmth, it's just going to make your image warm. When I reduce it, I'm giving like a blue, this blue color. Then when I increase it, I'm having like a particular color. Now this is one thing. There's this particular option here. It gives you when you click on it, it gives you how the image, tells you how the image looks like before. But okay, let's just see. Let's increase it this way. Now this is how the image looks like before, and this is when you let go of it, it gives you the correct editing, how you've edited it. Okay, when I just click on this check mark, okay, now I actually don't like the effect because it's not to my taste. I just want to show you something. Now I clicked on the check mark. For me to get rid of it, I need to just come here and view edit. Okay, let me just add. All right, we'll get back to that. Let me just explain this one now. I come to view edits. So this, I clicked on this arrow here. This particular option is still going to make me, maybe I want to go back and readjust some of those settings. I click on it. I come here and it's going to just make me, okay, maybe I don't like the warmth I put on it. It's too much. I can just come here and click on it. So it works even though when you use any of these looks. So maybe I can just let me just add pop to it. Still with the same effects, with the same one we had it before. I can add pop to it. Now if you can see, like the shadow, the highlight is, the shadows is not. I can now come here, view edit. Okay, I'll come to tune image. All right, so remember the other time, if I click on here, it's going to disable like all these functions, all one that just went off. They are not going to function again. So I'm just going to come here and then just maybe Okay, I'm just going to come here and or you know, okay, let's just come with curves. I'm just going to come here and I click on this, so I'm going to be able to adjust my curve. Alright, so I'm still going to come here and explain the curve. I'll just in a bit explain the curve in a bit. I'm just going to move it like this. Okay, now just made it a bit dark. Now okay, now so this is that for this. Now okay, now we applied a particular effect on this image. Now come here and still bring this again. So this is the entire canvas, all selected, all marked red, all painted red. Okay, now so the effect is going to take place in everywhere. So now I don't want this effect, so let's see how it's going to look like. Now this is how it's going to look like. So let's come here now and just select only this lady's face. I'll come here, I'll click on invert, or let me reduce it. Okay, just the face, just the face. Then I'll click on, let's see, you can see now the effect only took place outside, but the lady's face was not affected. Those effects took place outside, but the lady's face, no, go back, was not affected. Now if I want just the face to be affected, all I need to do is click on invert. Okay, now when I look at it, when you bring it back, the lady's face alone was affected, while the other one was not affected. Okay, now I don't want this. Now okay, we can just come back and undo. So the effect, okay, so that's for undo and redo. It gives you for undo and redo. Revert is all changes will be tap, revert your image to its original state. So if you actually want to just bring it back to the original state, you can use that particular option. Now so that is for, I've explained that those particular option. Now want highlight, ambience, saturation, brightness. Maybe you want to brighten every area in your design, but highlight just picks those white parts. That's what it picks. Bright contrast, it adds a bit of contrast, and it just helps to make it add a few touch on the particular design, on the image you're working on. Okay, so saturation, I've told you, talk about saturation. Ambience just gives you that adds a bit of toning on the image. So this next one is, let me just revert the effect. So I'll come to details. Now structure is just like you're adding texture to your image. See, all the textures is going to come out. So look at it. When you add structure to it, it's like you're adding texture. All the texture in the lady's face just popped out. Okay, so I use this most times. If you reduce it, you can see those structures just went faded. Now when you come to sharpen, it sharpens your image, your image. It just sharpens them, makes it pop out. So you add a bit of texture to it. Thus when you want to work on some particular image, you should just try use, not too much, not going to be okay, but just try and use a bit of structure and sharpen to your image. You can see how it was. So when instead of did that, okay, that other option was not open, just press on the screen, leave your hand, hold it down. It's going to give you before, now it's going to give you after when you leave it. All right, so this other one is cover adjustment too. Now the cover adjustment is divided into 5 parts. Now we have the white part, the white point rather, or the white place. Now so whenever any place you tap, it's going to give you a new, just like a new point. I don't want to keep tapping, I just need just 5 parts. So when you reduce, this is the white point, you're just going to reduce the white area on the design, brighten it, like just like highlight, add a bit of highlight to it. You can see it darkens it a bit. So this is the white point. Now this is highlight. You can see the white part are coming up. The white part are coming up. Now this is the mid-tones, like in between the mid-tones. You now increase it. You can see like the mid-tones of the image are just the skin, the colors are. This is for the mid-tones. Now this is for shadows. Also, just like in teen image we just use, this is for shadows. See, the dark part are getting darker. If you notice, look at the lady's leg. Now this is for black spot, the black space or the black point, whatever. Okay, so we will just get rid of this. Alright, now we're still going to go back. We're not done with curve now. So this is still the it enables me to see what I'm adjusting. Now I'm just trying to like work on it. Now I've actually not seen the curve. So again, now this is going to make me select. Probably I just want to add, this is for RGB, the entire red, green and blue, but this is for red. If you come here and come to the click on the midtones of red, and maybe you will darken the red. I'll click on this highlight. I don't want it to move. You darken the red, so all the red area are going to get dark. I brighten, I increase the red portion, or this I'm reducing the red. You can see it's turning to, what's the opposite of red again? Cyan. Now when I increase it, I'm adding red. I reduce it, I'm adding cyan to it. That's why it's turning cyan. Now this is for red, that's for red. This is for the mid-tones. Now this is for the white, black spot, whatever. Now so this is, well, doing this one this way. Also we are reducing the shadows of the. Now most times when you see maybe the red in this image is too much, you can just come here and reduce by adding cyan to it. Okay, so when you're working on the image, let's say you're working on the image, you just notice the red spot on that image was too much. You just come here, you can come here and reduce. You can still just come here and just maybe do an over. You can just come here and reduce, like from the midtones, just draw it, or you can just come here, still adjust from. You can see this one is just moving everything. Now maybe you just want to select it, that's why you can just start bringing all those spots. You can add a bit of red, or you want to reduce the red, add a bit of cyan. You can just turn it upside. When we turn it upside, you go the opposite side, it brings you like the other side of the color. Now so this green, the same thing. When you come here, add green, and this you're adding magenta to it, the opposite of cyan, CMYK. Green is cyan. So when you remove green, you're adding magenta, which is purple, to the image. Now so this is for the midtones, and it's not looking good anyway. So this is blue. Now when you add blue, it gives you blue, and this gives you yellow. Opposite of blue is yellow. Then, and also you can, this option, you can use it to take away a particular red from color. Take the particular color, like just help you to select the exact color you want to work on. Alright, so this is luminous. You want to brighten, still just like highlight. You want to brighten the image. You want to work on let's come here and brighten it a bit. Now this is like a preset. I'll put back in RGB. Now this is as a preset. You can see they are changing. These are preset. You can just come here and this is add contrast. The builders of this application have done very, very good work in making some preset you can try out. So if you don't know how to play around it, you can just come and you don't know how to work with the curve tool, you can come here and play with your presets. you can use the preset for your project. It's still going to give you, just go any preset that suits your taste. You can just come here and work with it. I will just stick with this add contrast, or add contrast, and maybe I just like this one. Now it's making me this one, so this is for the preset, and we'll click OK. So right now it's like it's too much, so I can come here, come to view edit. Maybe I want to reduce my sharpening is too much. I can just come here and reduce a bit and come back here, and make sure you click back to this curve. If not, the curve effect is not going to take away. You can see it's faded out. You click back on it, so the effect of the curve is now showing. I just showed you something now which I should have done that earlier. Now this is the white balance. Now the white balance has a bit of tint. Auto adjust. Now this is for auto adjust, this is for the options, and this is for maybe I want to select a particular angle I want to work on. So this is okay. Let's work on that. So this tint option, so green and magenta, while the temperature always gives you blue and red, so if you, this is auto adjust. Now this just helps you to select a particular color. Not really used this particular option before, but so I'm just going to introduce you to some now the very interesting part. We're getting there soon. So this is like a preset. This, if you actually want to adjust it yourself, is like it's resetting now. This is vertical and horizontal. Now this allows me to select, this free helps me to move it the way I want. Now these are presets. The original, this is square. The image, the design is just 3000, so it's actually a square. This is, then I want to flip it the other way around. You can see I'm flipping it the other way around. Maybe I want this, or this 3:3, and I just flip it this, or this one 16:9, normal YouTube thumbnail size. I can now just switch like this. So but we'll be sticking with the original one, and just stay with this one. Now rotate, it helps you to, you can see all I'm just doing is moving my hand on my screen. Now it's cool though. So you can flip, or you can just rotate, or you can just be moving your hand. Okay, so and voila. So okay, now come to perspective. Perspective helps you to tilt your, you can see the way I'm just moving it. Now it has like a content aware. It enables you, like it fills in some other space for you. You can see like this artificial intelligence function helps you to decode what's supposed to be on the other side. That's what's supposed to be on the other side. If you can see, it's actually repeating one of those. You can see when I just flipped this other way around, it's just filled in this other spot, but I don't want to put it. Like when I tilt it in a particular way, instead of the image just be like empty in the other way around, it's like a content aware effect, just like in Photoshop. It just made me bring, it uses its own intelligence to just tell you, okay, to fill it and tell you what's supposed to be there. Yeah, it's using its own intelligence to tell you what's supposed to be there. So if I move my hand like this, now you can see it actually filled it with its own intelligence, but didn't do a good job. Now this is smart. I filled it with white, I fill those places with dark, but I actually will not want it. You can see those places that we actually moved. Now the smart one is going to fill it with something the use zone intelligent, but when you just put it there, it's just going to put like that place is going to be, you can see white, black, but the smart option is, I guess you should still go with that. Now this is auto, like it automatically chooses a particular preset for you, something cool, right? So we don't want to use that particular option here, but it comes handy though. Now this is expand. Now the same way, if I just going to select this precept, it's still on smart, it's going to use its own intelligence to get what's supposed to be in that particular angle for me. So let me just use another image for this particular option. Let me come to my download. I have series of image I can make use of. I think those should be better. Okay, now blah blue. Okay, let's just pick. Okay, I'm looking at a particular image I can just use for this instead of okay, okay. Let's just use okay. Let me I'll use this one. I'm making use of expand. So expand works if you want to just increase this. So you can see it's actually worked very handy. It's like the audience increased to a particular way without you noticing. Now the only effect was showing you here is on the feet. So if you don't want the effect, I can just leave it like that, like this. So I stretch the image, I clicked on OK. You're not going to know except you pay attention to the feet, but it actually did a good job in selecting and bringing in new options, new image. So this is now, if you want the expanded place to be white just like the other place, and you want the expanded place to be dark, just now it's now dark, but if you want it to be white, but I don't want this, I think let me just expand it a bit, and just let me just leave it like this. And okay, so it's actually doing a good job with this side of the pitch, but the job it's doing here is not okay. Now you can see like the icon here, it's replicated. It's actually changed the dimension of the image now, so before and after. Right, so that's for expand. Now this is selective color. When you just click on plus and you just come here, or you just you click on plus, this thing what happen, you can click on multiple images at a time. So now let me just pick in a model's face. I have some images I I was working on a particular one. Let me just bring in this one. So when I come to selective color, so maybe there's a particular skin, the area of our skin I want to add brightness to. I'll just come here and I click on my plus mark, that particular area, or this area. You can still come here and okay, that's the particular. But if you want to add a new one, maybe you've selected that one, you click on this plus and you can see I've now tapped. If you want to add another one, you click on this. If you want to add another one, click on this. But let me just go back and selective color. Maybe okay, let's just do that for our hair. Let me just the brightness, and I just increase the brightness. You notice the everything that is having that color of the hair brightens. So like you see, the entire image did actually go dark, but just that color that went dark, every color that represents that in that image that went dark. So if I want to increase the contrast, you can see the contrast of that particular it just popped out. You want to saturation to it fades in. Okay, so you can the structure you just want to add to it. I guess you understand. Now this is going to make you see what you the eyes. Wow. All right, so we can just let me cancel this. I don't want to do now. This another option, dodge and burn. Now a photographer would actually tell you what this is. Probably you want to add highlight to a particular part on the image. Maybe for example you want to highlight, you're adding highlight and shadows to a particular this area. Now when I increase my dodge, let me increase the dodge. I don't want to use the razor. Let me increase the dodge to 5. You can see like it's going to add actually I've applied dodge. It's because it's in 5 that you're not seeing the effect. When I click before, you can see before and after. You can see like it brightens that particular area. Now this place in the image is supposed to be dark, so which I'm going to reduce the dodge because it seems to be dark. Now one way the best way to like work on image, if you want to explore like is just come here first a bit and you reduce the highlights, reduce the shadows, or better still, let's just turn it to black and white. Okay, it's still option is going to work. I'm just going to reduce the shadows, reduce the shadows. No, the brightness is not going to work. Let's see. No, this option is going to work now. Okay, let's see if this option is going to work. All right, so let's should I just go to curve? Let me come to the red part. No, I think I'll just work with that one. Let me see the white balance. No, let me just work with this. Now like I'm adding this effect twice. Instead of let me just come here, view edit, and come back to 20 minutes and just adjust it. Okay, so I'll just come here and okay, let's just work with this. So you're now going to see the effect of the dodge and burn. When I come to this brush, no, this is for exposure, but I just want to add for dodge and burn. When I click on this and I add, no, it's minus. When you add minus, like you're adding burn, that is going to look, you see, as I'm burning it, it's going to appear to be dark. Now when you're working on this particular effect, the darker place, no, not linear contrast, now the brush, which is for dodge and burn, you can see there are some place on the skin that seems to be dark. There's some place on the skin that seems to be white. Let me just see if I can just darken this thing again. Let me see the highlights. Okay, now this should have been what I should have done. That just now darken the highlight and darken the highlight a bit and the shadows a bit. Now okay, now this is actually going to work. When I come to this brush and come to my dodge and burn, and you can see this place seems to be dark. This place seems to be dark, like the face. This place also dark. This place dark. This side of the neck is dark. This side of the skin is dark. This other side is dark. So we apply dodge. you just increase it. If you don't want it to be too much, you can just make it 5. So you can see it's going to like all those sides, it's going to like add a bit of dodge to those places you want. Now it's always good for a graphic design to have a bit of a knowledge on screen retouching. Just at times you need to, this image is not actually good, okay? So you can see one thing why I actually like using black and white, it's going to show you like some of the impurities in the face. It's going to bring them out very, very well compared to when it's normal. So in case you are a pro and you can actually identify those spots, then you actually don't need this particular option. So this is before and after. So when I want to debone, I can just come here also the dark side, like this side of the skin. So you can also this side of the eyes, this side 5. Now you can actually increase the bone, the dodge brightens, bone darkens. From the word burnt, this is something get burnt. So you can just also add bone to the hair, the dark side. You can, so you can like add dodge to the side of the hair, the bright part of the hair. Okay, so now this is before and after. Now you're actually not seeing the effect very well, but so I'll just come here and come to view edits, just come to this option and delete this, come to this option. Now this one of the satin here, I can just come here and so this is before and after. You can see before and after. So this are one of the way you can actually use Snapseed. Okay, so in continuation of the brush, then the other one we talked about you using black and white to work on the effect, but in this particular place now I just brought in this one just to show you how I can work on images without using black and white. So when you're working on dodge and bone, this you can see is dodge and bone. Please don't go in too much. I don't recommend you going in too much. I tell you that the dodge is like you adding highlights to the image, and the bone is you darken that side. Now please use 5. No, this is because my own recommendation. I'm just going to mandate it for you. Use 5. And when you go into the bone too, don't go in too much. Because when you come to, you can still go in full with 10. Okay, let me just come put it so that the reason I put on this eye is so I'm just going to see where I'm pointing at. You see, if you notice, okay, when I did it now, you notice that side area I've turned red. Let me erase it, but I want to just use 5. So now, so on those areas that happens to be lights on the image of the model, you apply dodge. So those places that appears to be dark, you apply your bone. It's going to like enhance more or less you adding highlights and shadows to your image. Now dodge is okay. So this side too, you can also come to this side of the hair. Now this side, the hair seems to be dark, so I'll be applying just bone. You can see it's getting dark. Okay, so now the reason that side is red is because I turned on this. You can see it. So the reason I actually turned it on, so that I'm just going to see where I'm applying this effect. Now okay, this place here, the lady's face, you want to use your bond there. If you notice now, it's now becoming dark. Okay, so that's that. All right, so let's apply. You can also apply the dodge to this bright side of the hair. With the bright side of the hair, this bright side of the hair, you can apply the dodge to this side of the model. Then we can just come here and take this off. Now you can see how it is now. Okay, now this is before, this is after. You can see it looks a bit good, right? Now, so the next thing we can still, okay, I'll just want to explore just two of the brush. Okay, now we have this effect here. I want to apply another one by still keeping this image. I'll just click on original. You can see the effect is no longer showing, but I'm still going to come to brush. Now you can also spice this up by just working on the lady's eye. So you just come to temperature. See, I came to temperature, then you reduce it. You can reduce it by 10, reduce it to 5. For the sake, I want you see, you notice the eye is going to get a bit whiter compared to. Now when we actually using temperature actually, when you reduce the temperature, it comes to blue. Now the best thing to apply here would have been saturation, but I tried saturation, it wasn't giving me. Okay, so now I'm going to come here, and with that done, I'm just coming and reduce the saturation too. Okay, now this is better. So this is before, this is after. No, we actually use temperature added a bit of blue to it. Then when we came here and changed the saturation, we just faded that blue, but it actually brightens the eyes. If you looked at it, it brightens the eye a bit. Now you can come to saturation and temperature. All this effect, they have like a form of makeup on the image of the model. So if I come to saturation, it's gonna fade the area of the model out, which you don't want to do that. So you can see this erase saturation. Once you erase it, wow, you can see the effect you actually apply to that eye. The saturation effect has also disappeared. So I'm going to reduce the saturation from the eye. On the eye, you don't want to add saturation, you just want to take it out. You want to take the saturation out when you're applying the effect on the eyes. So what you're going to do now is come here. Now the saturation will be on the image. You don't want to apply too much. Also, you can see. Okay, let's just put the red option, and just, I don't want to paint it too much. If I take it off, if you notice, it's just as if she applied makeup. Okay, so like this tutorial has been gonna take us about 15 minutes. I don't think I'll be able to touch every of those two here, because I don't want it to be more than 1 hour. Okay, so I just want to see what I'm doing. You can still apply the same saturation effect to the hair. It's gonna make it pop out. You can see how the hair is looking now. So okay, okay, so so you apply it here. So you can see it's actually not that smooth. I'm just showing you anyway. Alright, so you can also apply it here. Let's go down here, apply it here. You can touch the hair too. Alright, so let's get rid of this now. Okay, it is not actually going too smooth. Okay, now I seems so the effect is okay. So this is how it was before, this is how it is after, as if you added a bit of makeup on the ladies. And also you can see the hair too, you just touched a bit of saturation outside. So we can go with this, and but we can just still come back here, come to original, that other, those other effects, the dodge and burn. I just, now when I come here, I cannot move this. That's one with the button of Snapseed. You can just come here and choose this effect, maybe, except I'm going to go with everything. So should we just come to the brush, and you can play with temperature and exposure. So if you come here and play with the temperature, also this is minus, let me raise back the effect and just add 5 on the lady's face. It's still like this makeup feeling, but let me, okay, you can try this on in a dark model. I wanted to just bring in a dark model and try this on her skin. Now this is how it is before. Still give me that kind of saturation vibe. Alright, so okay, so this is, let's see, let's just check how the negative part is going to be on this side. Okay, it's going to be white. Okay, you see how it's going to be there, so we don't want that. We don't want that, so because it actually went down with the lady's skin. Okay, so this is it. Okay, now so this is what, so we can still try this effect on a dark model. Should we? Let's just try one. Okay, on a dark model. Okay, let's use this one. So this, the brush, so come to exposure this time. So we'll try the exposure on, I don't know if you've seen the effect. So okay, so we have this guy here, we have this guy here. So once I'm done, I'll just take off this eye. So you're going to look at it before and after. So that's one thing about the exposure effect. So we can still come to brush and just try temperature on 5. You can see how the temperature is working on a dark skin. Alright, so let's go on with the other parts of the tutorial to work on your image. Now you can see some of the impurities are there now. Alright, so I'm just going to come here, click on view edit and click back on the original. I don't want the effects now, so I'm just going to come here and add to come to tune image and reduce the highlights or increase the highlight a bit, then reduce the shadows completely, then reduce the saturation. Okay, so Now the reason I actually did that was also still coming back. The saturation is reduced, then the highlights, let me just add a bit of the highlights and the shadows. Let's see, okay, let me reduce the highlights. Yeah, it's gonna make me see the blemishes. You can see the lady's face is not very fine. So I'm now coming here to this next one. Okay, now this one is when you want to add a bit of exposure, saturation to a particular place in the image. All you just need to do is just come there and just tap that, maybe so you can see where we're selecting this. So you can just come here, maybe exposure, so you can see that side is brightened, but you can adjust it here, and the temperature you can see, like now you really want to use black and white, so you're going to make you see the area that actually you need to work on. Now this, most times this effect exposure may not actually need black and white, so you actually see the area you actually adding exposure to. Now the next one is this healing. So when I just use my two hand, I'm using my two hand and I'm zooming in. When you can see that side just healed. Okay, now like I tampered with some of the. Now you don't want to make it too much. You do this thing, it's going to give you can see. Now you just need to be touching those areas that are filled with impurities, little one after the other, little by little, just tap on it little by little. See this particular side. Now okay. Alright, so just permit me, the before and after, we've removed some of the impurities. Now okay, so okay, now you don't want it to be too much done, so you can just, now it gives you something good. Okay, so you can okay, so now let's just look at so this is now, alright, so this is before. But there are still some impurities on the image anyway, but let's just go there with this like this. So come here, view edit, then let's just come here and delete this. We can, okay, let's just still come back and do a few retouching on. Now you can see this side, like this side. I'm not liking the feel on that side, so okay, you can see we're removing some spots from a face. So there's so many spots on this image. Now you need to just be careful with the area you tap in, because what this thing is doing, that is just copying some areas from it's copying some of the effects from. Okay, so when I click on this, I can now gladly zoom in. I'll just come here and delete this, so I'm just gonna leave. You can see, okay, so this is before and after. Before and after, you can see like I added a bit of blemish here, so I'm going to come here and come to the healing, and I'm just going to touch. Okay, so I decided just to go back to the dodge option, the one we did the other time. Now this dodge, just when you know to use it, it make you feel as if you applying makeup on those particular image. I guess we'll do that in some other videos, but you can see how it just came out here as if you're applying makeup. So you can still tweak it, you can please still play along with it just to make it feel that this realistic feel of that makeup on the face. Okay, for HDRscape, now this is, you come to HDRscape, these are the options you can play with. Now when you adjust it, it's going to give you part of these options. If you increase for the people, it's going to give you, but if you come to nature, and you can see, and also increase, like you see the kind of effect it's giving you. I use this mostly for designs. Maybe I worked on a flyer, and let's see, I actually use Photoshop now for my flyers. So let me use this child. So I just come to HDRscape, and you can see nature. I can come here and adjust the strength, but I don't like this option for just people. These people is going to help me. It gives you a particular toning effect that's going to help support people in the background. Now this gives you a particular toning effect that is going to work with good for nature. Why fine? I'm gonna make it a bit too much strong, probably too much, so you can just probably adjust filter. Now I'm just gonna end that one there. So the next one is glamour glow. Now these are the preset of the glow. Now this saturation, you want to make it reduced, so you reduce saturation of the glow. It also affects the image. I'm going to add like a blue to it. Add, well, I'm not going to stick with this now. Now this preset, which I've actually haven't used it before. I haven't used them before because I just come here, most times just edit my image. Now tonal contrast is something I use almost every time for my designs. Whenever I'm done designing, maybe I want to work on a flyer, I just come here and okay guys, now so we'll be ending this particular tutorial in HDRscape. So I will be making another video explaining the base down tool for you in a new video. Okay, we've spent almost an hour here, so we'll see you in a new video. Don't want to make it too long. Don't worry, Sassy Graphic signing out. Please do not forget to subscribe. I just hope this has been helpful. Thank you.